Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Well, it's Wednesday, so it's my bad joke day. So these three guys are, sitting in a condo in Tel Aviv, looking over the ocean, and every day they get together, and all they do is complain. They complain about their health situation, their financial situation, the governmental situation, the difficulty of trying to not conflate and yet still connect the difference between Zionism, Judaism, and the government of Israel, anti-Semitism, just tough. And then just complaining. And then one day, one guy says, I've decided I'm going to become an optimist. So, yeah, really great. And of course, for the next 6 weeks, every day, he just continues to complain. The same acrimonious, bitter sentiments that he had before. And after a few weeks, his friend says, wait a second, I thought you said that you were going to become an optimist. He says, you think it's easy becoming an optimist? So hold the line. All right, for my journal writing friends, whether you write this down, just think about it in your head, or elevate the conversation with people in your life or with me, you let me know what's going on for you. I'll let you know what's going on for me. Who modeled spirituality for you? Somebody in your family, a clergy person, some person in social service, psychology. There's many, many ways to look at spirituality without connecting it to organized religion. So who modeled spirituality for you? Was it in a book? Was it in a movie? You let me know and I'll tell you who the models were for me. Now, my yoga master, B.K.S. Iyengar, reminds us all, without discipline, you cannot succeed in any of your endeavors. Perseverance is the key. You got to keep at it, and you're going to make a breakthrough. Now, my pro tip in general for you is if your solar plexus, your stomach, your gut is gripped, you create a kind of catastrophe in your body. Your diaphragm is a mediator between the unconscious forces and the conscious forces of your physical body and your spiritual self. That's where you draw your vital energy from that muscle. So don't shorten it by collapsing your posture. Lift up. Your mom was right. Sit up straight. Now, when it comes to meditation, as Rinpoche would say, it's panoramic awareness. You start off concentrating yourself like a river that has banks that guides the flow of the river, but the river ends up in the ocean where it expands into panoramic awareness, a total involvement without a center or a fringe. Remember the old 11th Hermetic Corpus Hermeticum definition of God? God is an intelligible sphere whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. That's what we're talking about. No center, no fringe. Now, there's always a sense of polarity in life, but not the egocentric watching, where you're trying to control the situation as if you have to constantly stay on top of what you're doing. Awareness without the watcher. It cuts through any kind of false piety that you might have, like you're an extraordinary, compassionate being. Just be skillful enough to handle any situation that comes in front of you. All right. Now, at the same time you're doing that, you got to turn up the Bunsen burner. Turn up the heat, excite the experiment. Each of us is imbued with a certain inherent vitality, and we come here, we incarnate to give that to the world. So don't be afraid to display yourself brilliantly. Like Jesus says, if you have a light, you don't hide it under the stand, you put it out where everyone can see it. Because the deep self needs to be reflected, and there's a certain kind of pain from not being able to show that aspect of yourself expressed in the world. So just do it. Now, not everybody's up to the task. You invite them to dance and they don't do it. So, in my opinion, spirit experiences it at a gut level, just like we do. It hurts when you see other people in pain. So, consideration of other people, their integrity, their truth, it's a kind of compassion that is akin to holiness. So, no condescension on their behalf. Use your power on their behalf, not to lord it over them. That's the way to deal with the third chakra. Really simple. Finally, my rabbi has to say, in the life cycle, development continues unabated. And what is that development? It's the development of wisdom. And where will you find this wisdom? Not only just within yourself. Look all around. It is in no short supply. Once you program your brain to look for it, you'll be surprised how often it continues to turn up in your life. And finally, the affirmation masters want to remind you that scriptures are no dull compendiums that are out of date. If it's presented without a spiritual interpretation, then it can appear sanctimonious and conventional. but they're really textbooks of clear explanations and definite guidance for any and all difficulties that can arise in your daily life. And that's what it really is if you see Scripture unveiled. See it psychologically and not just literally and historically, and you'll get it. And finally, just remember this little affirmation for yourself. I give attention to what I want. Whatever I stay focused on, I draw to myself. I give attention to what I want. Whatever I stay focused on, I draw to myself. Why? Because the law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. Draw it to yourself.